What's up, chat? What's up, chat? Does your American Chan post surpass your prior most liked art by now? I keep seeing more and more art of it. Yeah, it's number one. Second was at like 80,000 likes or so. And that was Anime Hag. Doing gesture drawings? I've done a lot of gesture drawings, but that's not what I'm doing right here. I just like to point out that if you just went to a learning creative writing class, and the teacher gave you like 6 rules to make sure that you never do these things. Just like don't ever do this. I feel like JoJo would be like hitting 4 of the rules. Like, for example, don't just have bullshit that nobody understands happen out of nowhere, for example. That seems like a pretty good rule. And Araki is like, but what if my entire series was based on that? Don't have the hero team suddenly win by gaining an ability out of nowhere that was never foreshadowed in the rest of the story. What's with the title this time around, BB-chan? If you don't understand what the title is already, that means you're not living your life every single day looking for JoJo references, which means you probably have a healthy psyche instead of being a mentally ill individual like 95% of the JoJo fan base. So I think you can be happy. That's probably a good thing. 3 panels with Maria in them. I think you're right. I think there is only like 3 panels with Maria in them because the vast majority of the fight is just Joseph and Abdul getting stuck in compromised poses that might suggest they're gay. What are you dressing up at this year? I don't do things for Halloween. I don't celebrate Halloween. I don't celebrate Christmas. You can't make me do things. I consider all holidays to be encroaching upon my freedom. And I value my freedom more than anything else. Which is also probably why I don't have wife and kids or anything. What's up, man? Jacking hard or hardly jacking? This morning I masturbated to AI generated artwork of Ikito-sen's Kang-u getting fucked in a locker room. That is my daily masturbation update. I thought that for a period of time that I was losing my sexual drive now that I'm approaching 40 and my testosterone levels are going down, and I am. And my loss of sex drive means that instead of masturbating once a day, every day, I masturbate like 5 times per week now. When I was around 13 or 14, I remember giving myself a personal rule that I wasn't going to masturbate more than 3 times per day. I was specifically like, okay, we're only gonna jack off if it's been 8 hours between the current and the last fap. This was my version of restraint, I guess. Stack TRT and Trend, yeah. No, man, I'm sure RFK Jr. is pure natty. there's no way that he would ever use performance-enhancing drugs in his old age. Also, I tried doing the whole, like, time your, what was it? Like, 100, it was like, what, 50 pull-ups and 100 push-ups in, like, 5 minutes or something. I can't remember what the specific thing that RFK Jr. and Pete Hegseth were, like, planning to do as, like, to show how healthy they were. But I tried doing that, and, like, even if you do every single rep, like, immediately, it's hard to do it in the time that those two reported that they did it. So I'm very, very confident that they were lying about their personal records when they said that they completed it in like 5 minutes and 30 seconds or some shit like that. That, or it was probably a combination of like actually misreporting the numbers and also like not actually doing the full pull-ups and full push-ups and stuff. I don't think they mentioned a timer. They just went as long as they could. No, you're supposed to do a timing thing. They claim that they did it in like 5 minutes, 30 seconds or something, which is complete bullshit. Like, I don't think they could have completed the actual numbers that they set up as goals in the first place. But even if they were able to complete it at those numbers, the timing is extremely hard. If you're doing push-ups and pull-ups using proper form, like, it would have been difficult to complete it in 5 minutes. Because I did the calculation. It takes more than, like, I don't know, 3 seconds to do a pull-up. So 3 times 50, that's all, we're already talking about 150 seconds right there. So that's already 2.5 minutes. And same thing for the push-ups. So you're already at 5 minutes right there, and then you have to switch between, like, forms between doing the pull-ups and the push-ups, so it's highly unlikely they did that. But we already knew that, so why am I even talking about it? Kipping pull-ups like in CrossFit, there's no chance that they were actually going all the way down with their fucking pull-ups. They were just like, this was their range of motion was like this. Like, they were just, like, putting their chin slightly below the bar and then slightly above the bar again and again. 100%. Also, RFK Jr. is still most definitely on some kind of human growth hormone. I think we can say that for sure as well. Who are you drawing, by the way? If you can't even tell who I'm drawing based on my excellent rough draft, then I don't feel like telling you. Because, like, it means you're a fucking uncultured swine. Figure it out yourself. Shut the fuck up, Constrictor. Nobody asked for your opinion on who I was drawing. The point is for them to figure it out themselves. Your opinion is appreciated, Constrictor. Uwu. Death Striker, because you posted an uwu That disgusting ooh emoji, I'm gonna have to time out Constrictor. This is your fault. I want everybody in chat to take this time and consider your personal actions of what caused Constrictors to get timed out, okay? Look what you made me do. I'm still willing to donate $5 if you permaban him. We only have 44 viewers in stream, guys. I can't start to afford permabanning people when that's like 1/50th of my audience, okay? Constrictor is Death Striker's whipping boy. He's the collective whipping boy of the entire stream. So if you don't behave, I'm gonna have to punish him. And I'm sure none of you want to see him suffer. It's very unfair, and it hurts my heart very, very much to have to do this. But you left me no choice. She has a cock, right? I should time you out too, but I just timed out Constrictor, so I'm going to be lenient. But in general, suggesting that the artist should draw female characters with a penis is also a timeout. We need to nip the issue in the bud before it gets too bad. I'm not suggesting anything, I'm just wondering if she has a horse cock. The effects of the internet have been devastating on humanity and society as a whole. The only Futa content that I'm ever going to allow is big, strong Futa females losing to ugly bastard dick. I see that as a form of evil woman correction, so I'll allow that. What if I want the evil woman to correct me, though? Then you're a low-test man, and you should feel bad. I'm gonna have to consult RFK Jr. on whether you need some HRT, not HRT, HGH. HRT is the other one. HGH prescribed to you. My Asanagi dojins have emphasized many times that all women are inherent masochists, that must become like breeding slave milk farms or whatever. So as men, it's our duty to, I don't know, impregnate female drafts or something. I don't know. In other words, you're not allowed to be like, "Uwu, One-chan, please stimulate my prostate," because it's too submissive. I don't know. You know how people were talking about Morning Glory milking farm or whatever, and the woman lusting after minotaurs and stuff? And there's that like infamous feminist passage in it in which the minotaur assures the woman that she's still a strong, independent feminist, even though she's not paying for her own dinner. And then in her mind, the main character is like, wow, the minotaur telling me I'm a strong, independent feminist while also paying for my dinner is making me want to get on my knees and suck his cock right now. There is open discussion about their economic disparity, and Rourke does not use it as a way to control her. Violet. If the commanding rumble of his voice hadn't silenced her, the heat of his hand dropping to her knee would have. I don't want you to feel that you don't have any agency here. I might be the one giving all the orders, but you hold all the cards. Your comfort is the only thing that counts right now, and if I overstep, I want you to know you can tell me so. But that's not happening. Don't think I'm unaware we're at different points in our careers. You can say no, you can say you don't want to see me again, you can tell me to stop coming to the farm when you're working. It's a dinner, not a down payment on your time. But I'm in a position to comfortably spoil someone, so when you're with me, I'm spoiling you. End of story. She was a good feminist, she told herself, and she definitely couldn't be bought. But if he'd have suggested at that moment that he would have appreciated a blowjob, she would have fallen face first on his cock with an open mouth without a shred of hesitation. So, I think it's fucking hilarious that women are... well, okay, let's not use the large noun woman. Some women are treating this like it's like a actually... poignant, meaningful book or something. And I was thinking about, like, what would be the male equivalent of it? And I thought it would be if there would be, like, Morning Glory Milking Farm starring Big Dick Johnson, and it involves his One-chan Dami Mommy fingering the main character's prostate and jacking him off, but then she's also like, don't worry honey, I know that you're a strong, powerful, masculine man, but when you're with me, you can be, Dami Mommy's baby as much as you want. And there's nothing to feel ashamed of it. You're still a strong, independent man, even when I'm fingering your prostate until you ejaculate and sucking on my big fat boobs and patting your head and telling you that you're a good boy and everything's going to be okay. I still respect you as a powerful, independent man. And then male readers were reading this and being like, yeah, exactly. Even if I'm getting my femdom mommy to tell me I'm a good boy, I'm still a powerful, independent man. There's nothing to be ashamed of. I think you need her to say you're not gay for liking prostate stimulation as well. Yes. Yes, make sure mommy tells you that all your sexual fetishes are completely fine and there's nothing wrong with your identity as a strong, independent man going your own way and fighting for male rights. And Christianity. You're a totally heterosexual masculine man, even though I'm fondling your prostate with my huge dommy mommy fingers right now. Yes, you are my precious big strong boy. Yes, you are. Constrictor with his first return to stream immediately asks whether it's a Forsen reference. I can't believe Forsen, a completely innocent man, got a suspension just for mistakenly opening a horsecock on stream. We allow images of horsecock on the Discovery Channel. It's not fair. I mean, I don't want to complain too much about Twitch because who gives a fuck at this point for this fucking dying platform, but I feel like that's the ultimate double standard where the woman who was purposefully videotaping her sex scene didn't really get in trouble, just got like a slap on the wrist suspension, and then Forsen can be tripped into opening his the horsecock photo on stream and, you know, get a suspension as well. Artistic nudity, I mean, that was a disaster before it even happened. They should have seen that one coming. Pun intended. The truth is, as soon as you allow any kind of freedom on any kind of internet platform, it's just going to be covered in porn. Endless amounts of porn. That's just what's going to happen. So you better really figure out where you're going to draw the line on anything. Especially if you allow women to show themselves on a stream. They're immediately going to be like, send me donations and I'll show my tits, LMAO. It's such easy free money for them. There's no way that you're not going to have like 500 different titty streamers immediately, so... You see the clip of that VTuber who accidentally watched a horsecock vid on YouTube while looking at Uma Musume memes. It's so good she doesn't even realize what's on screen for like 40 seconds, LOL. It's okay, guys. It's all part of nature. What's up? One Piece is apparently going seasonal. Oda's about to die, isn't he? Honestly, it's something that we allow every other author in every other type of media to do. I don't understand why it has to be like that way for manga. It's like, why not just let the author draw like 1 or 2 volumes worth of work in his off time and then run that in the magazine, you know, so you don't literally kill your authors. Is that asking too much? Obviously it is. "26 episodes a year from next year." I mean, are you talking about like the anime or the manga? I heard about the anime news. I didn't hear about any manga, so I assume you're talking about the anime. The anime is its own other beast. I don't think I heard about Oda only posting like at irregular intervals like Togashi does. He takes way more breaks than weekly, but he's literally about to die right now, so I think he should be allowed to take a few breaks here and there so he doesn't die, you know? You better dogezo to the publishers for even mentioning such a thing. If you're in the online magazines, they're way more lenient about this shit. The problem with the publishing in traditional magazines is that like they already have to decide how many pages are in the magazine before they print it. So if you can't make the deadline, like it fucks up everything because there's all this like bookbinding shit. Whereas in the online publishing, it like really doesn't matter as much. If you check Jump Plus, a lot of the manga are, they take like, it's like either every other week, or even if they're trying to maintain a weekly schedule, the publisher will allow them to take regular breaks, so it's not as immediately there every single week. It's not as painful for them. Why do Japanese work themselves to death? In the case of the manga industry, it's because Tezuka Osamu worked himself to death, and he set up like the standard for weekly releases. On the other hand, have you tried reading like a monthly manga in a magazine? Because you do kind of forget what happened previous episode. So unless it's like a story that ends in like 30 pages every month, if it's like an ongoing story, I do see the problem with monthly manga. I think every other week is a pretty good balance between like readers not forgetting what happened and like not killing the author. Could you envision your stepsister manga getting an anime, BB-chan? No. I don't worry about anime. Even if it gets an anime, it's not what I'm looking for. I'm gonna be honest, I don't give a fuck about anime. It's always worse than the manga, because they have to fuck with the pacing every single time. There's only a very few number of exceptions where the anime is better than the manga. In general, you get lower quality artwork, worse pacing. Obviously, there's like some benefits like music and movement and stuff, but if it's anime, half the time like they don't have the budget to actually animate the movement in the first place. So some people, their goal for becoming mangaka is to see their shit animated, but not really me. I don't really care one way or the other. If they want to animate it, go ahead. I don't give a fuck. Mob Psycho 100 as the big anime exception. So if the manga is already completed, there's a much higher chance that it'll be at much higher quality. But it doesn't matter how good the manga and how good the anime studio is. If they're trying to maintain the anime releases ongoing at the same general sense of speed as the manga releases, you're either going to have massive filler arcs, or they're going to drag out every single episode in dumb ways, or probably both. The most obvious example of the anime being better than the manga is Gintama, because Gintama basically relies on a lot of voice work, and it got the best voice actors for the anime, so that alone just like kept it going. And the Gintama manga is like pretty poorly drawn. The author isn't very good at drawing action scenes and stuff, but he's really good at writing dialogue, so it basically ends up being like a script for an anime in the first place. It's pretty interesting. Have you seen Gintama? I'm at like episode 20 something and not fully into it yet. I don't know. It's supposed to be jokes and stuff, so I don't know how interesting it is if you don't understand Japanese. It's also more of a woman thing. Women fucking love Gintama. Maybe not women, maybe more like pubescent girls. It's just their thing. Hottest female character Araki has made. Isn't it Narancia? But Narancia is a guy, they say. When the kid looks like this. I mean, that's the joke, but, like, seriously. You take Narancha and you turn it up to 11, and that's how you get fucking waistlines that look like this. And then men are like, I'm not gay, but it's like, bro, you're not even vaguely being gay if you're attracted to this shit right here. That's just a fucking woman. You can't be like, no, you're being gay if you're attracted to this man. It's like, bro, that ain't a man. That's literally just a woman. Men don't have this body type no matter how hard you try. Literally impossible body type if you're a man and you have any amount of testosterone going on. I like femboys, but Sonic doesn't do it for me. Sonic really isn't a femboy. He's just a female. That's just draw a woman, call it a man. This is why Japan's birth rate is plummeting. Guys all trying to have sex with boys. Oh wait, they've always been doing that. Samurai honor dictates that you must have sex with the boy. They said that Hideyoshi loved women so much that he was always trying to have sex with women. And everybody was like, you okay, bro? Why are you so into women? Because it was so abnormal for samurai to want to have sex with women. He was considered to be a weirdo. I wonder if it was in part to avoid unnecessary pregnancies. Men are just more aesthetically beautiful than women. This is a well-known fact. Are you gay? I'm extremely heterosexual. That sounds like someone who is gay would say. Yes, but I'm an artist, and I've studied the Renaissance art periods, and all the greatest artists that we consider geniuses said that men were more beautiful than women, and they definitely weren't gay. No, sir. I don't want women to necessarily shave their heads like Spartan women, but I do think we need to try harder to get women to have short hairstyles and not the American side shave woke haircut. I'm talking like Japanese tomboy haircuts. There is, it's well agreed upon among the Japanese internet that short hair is the best hairstyle for having big boobs. For example, things like this. I could even go shorter than this. This is good length right here. By having no extra hair in the area, it further accentuates how big and powerful the boobs are. Long hair plus big boobs equals protagonist mom. Long hair plus big boobs, that alone doesn't make it the protagonist mom. You have to have the hair. Protagonist mom is one of the following. This one right here. This is one. The side braid. You can have the tied in the back right here. The side braid is definitely the strongest. There's also ones where it's just like straight up fully braided. There's also short hair patterns every once in a while. Well, that is also a mother hairstyle, but I often see it in wives that get cucked by local big dick shotas and stuff like that. That's a pretty common hairstyle, the short hair, if you're a housewife and you're about to lose to the young boy dick. That's pretty common. What else do we have? There's the infamous Girls und Panzer mom who has the not exactly hime cut but the straight hair with bangs, and she has insane amounts of porn. But that's more of an exception that proves the rule. Her hime cut, not hime cut straight hair bang is seen as a symbol that she's cheating on her husband. It has to be the side tail, overwhelmingly. Find mother that doesn't have side tail. Well, it's not really side tail. Side forward wraparound braid hairstyle challenge. Difficulty impossible. Kamala would have won if she had a low taper fade on God on God. It never will be her time till she gets it right and tight. Vice presidents tend to not really win elections, at least the most recent ones. I guess Biden won, but that just shows how powerful Obama was, I guess. People just wanted more Obama, And Biden ain't that. The entire point that you have a vice president in the first place is because you just want to have like a running mate that is gonna be somewhat popular in a specific state or some shit like that. But the commonality among different vice presidents is that they're supposed to have like zero charisma, because if they're too charismatic, they overshadow the president. And nobody who's running for president wants to get overshadowed by their fucking vice president. So just by default, the vice president has to have zero fucking charisma. That's just how it works. The only reason that Biden got elected was because people liked Obama and they fucking hated Trump, so... In fact, I'm actually very confident if Biden had stepped down early enough for the Democrats to actually have a primary, like an actual open primary, I'm pretty sure Kamala would not have won. Honestly, both Kamala and Hillary kind of sticking around in the media after they lost and being like, oh, I'm not done yet, I'm still relevant, shows why they lost in the first place. Their inability to read the sort of national temperature on them and being unable to recognize when people are getting fucking sick of them and still sticking around and overstaying their welcome. It's a good indicator of why they're not great politicians to begin with. Obama understands that, even though he's still super popular. He makes sure not to like overexpose himself. He only shows up every once in a while. I'm tired of picking the lesser of two evils. I want to actually vote for someone. Unfortunately, that just means we have to wait for the boomers to die. Maybe next election will be the time in which we don't have to choose between old person 1 and old person 2 and old person 3. But I'm not sure about that either. I mean, next election is probably like rigged. You know, like Trump third term election or some shit like that. Honestly, I'd be shocked if the Republicans don't have some kind of like election rigging scheme in place by 2026, so don't get ahead of yourself on the whole voting thing. We need ranked choice voting and to abolish the Electoral College. Never gonna happen. You need a constitutional amendment to do that. You should be happy if you ever get to vote in any kind of election ever again. What if the president were a bombshell and the vice president was an ugly bastard and the State of Union address would be NTR? How about Abby Shapiro for president 2026? I don't know. When's the first time we get to vote for her? I would vote for Abby Shapiro if the vice president was an ugly bastard with a giant cock, and then there was a live feed of Ben Shapiro's face as he watches his sister have sex with the vice president or something. A live Ben Shapiro reaction cam. I would watch that. Was Lyndon B. Johnson an IRL ugly bastard? I forgot the name. Who was the fattest guy? Who was like super giga fat? Fattest U.S. president. Was it Howard Taft? Yeah, it was Howard Taft. Absolute fucking unit right here. Imagine your childhood friend getting mating pressed by this beast of a president right here with his fucking mustache. Now this is a man that the American people can vote for, knowing that he represents them both in his body type. Also, I think he just survived an assassination easily because he had too much blubber and the bullet couldn't get through his massive body. Incredibly inspiring stuff right there. Tank build. JFK should have tried that. Unfortunately, JFK put all of his points into charisma and not into constitution. JFK was too busy chasing tail in the White House secretary pool. JFK high on drugs, fucking Marilyn Monroe. Also high on drugs. Then disposing her body after she ODs in the White House bedroom or something. Classic American. Can't figure out how close to the original text I want to make the art style. What are your main sources of protein since you dislike eggs? This is where we go back to the semen discussion and homosexuality discussion, but my mother cooks meat quite often. I mean, I'll be eating a lot of beans when I get to Japan. That's the, because like everything in Japan is just soy, right? Soy, soy, soy. Tofu, natto, soy sauce, miso, no low-fat milk. I also consume a lot of milk. I consume a lot of milk as well, yes. I think it's pretty crazy how there's this recent health trend where like everything has like protein in it. Have you noticed that? There's like protein popcorn, protein milkshake, protein this, protein that. As if like Americans don't get enough protein. It's like, bitch, Americans eat like 5 pounds of meat per day. Why the fuck is anybody worried that they're not getting enough protein? You guys eat way too much meat. You have more than enough protein in your diet. There are no Americans who don't have enough protein in their fucking lifestyle. Everybody eats enough protein. Sugar-free, gluten-free, low-fat, protein air. So in the 90s it was low-fat. And then we moved on to, I want to say we moved on to low sugar at some point, but I don't think we really did. Honestly, if Americans had a health trend in which we just ate less sugar, that would be a really good for Americans' health, but apparently that's too untasty enough. People aren't willing to just not eat sugar in America, so that's not going to happen. I think it's pretty funny how there's all these people who are like, yeah, I get a Diet Coke. I get a Coke Zero, so I don't consume any sugar. And I eat that with a triple serving of fries and like 5 cookies. And it's like, well, damn, that Diet Coke is really doing a lot of work right there. And I guess none of the doctors are going to be like, that Diet Coke, that makes no fucking difference because you're already eating like 7,000 calories of sugar anyways. They're not going to say that because, you know, there's no point in convincing people that they should eat normal Coke, but it really doesn't make a huge difference if you're going to eat a shit ton of sugar. Diet soda makes you crave sugar more. Yeah, it's like fucking with your metabolism, right? Because your brain thinks that you're supposed to get something sweet, but then you don't get the sweet shit. And then your mind doesn't know how to respond. Everything kind of feels fucked up. Your insulin can run amok. Yeah, you don't want to be having like your insulin activating and deactivating in weird ways. as someone who recently cut a lot of sugar from his diet when he was in the process of losing weight, like I could feel the insulin spikes happening back in the time, and like I would get these weird insulin highs when I would go to McDonald's and shit. Like you can actually tell the difference when your body is becoming more and more insulin resistant after a while. And then you have to like release a shit ton of insulin for it to, you know, get your blood sugar correct. And then like you can feel the insulin spike happening where you're like, whoa, here we go! My blood sugar's going up! Oh, it's going down! Let's fucking go! It's like, woo! I'm on a roller coaster! This smooth jazz is making me sleepy. Can you put on something more energetic? You know what to do? Fine. I have to go jogging soon anyways.
Sorry for what?
There's a reason why there were no Pillar Woman Gotchi Hyper. Awaken my masters, and by masters I mean my cock. Question is, do I want these vertical lines, the JoJo lines, right here underneath the cheek, right here, those things? Probably not. They're so iconic, I kind of feel like I should put them in there. Van Darkholm beat Dio. Van Darkholm couldn't even beat Mark Wolf. I don't think he could beat Dio. If you actually watch the entire video of Lords of the Locker Room, it's actually pretty interesting because Mark Wolf and Van Darkholm clearly don't know how to do any kind of wrestling, so their gotchi wrestling moves are pretty limited, whereas Billy and the non-famous guy that nobody talks about clearly both have some amount of wrestling experience, so they can put each other in a much wider variety of different moves. It's interesting to observe. Actually, you asked who the hottest woman in JoJo was. I think I can give you the answer now. Now that I've seen the part 2. It's fucking Lisa, duh. You know, when Araki was still interested in somewhat drawing female bodies, at least she has fucking thick thighs. Spoilers. Mommy! Ah! No, please. Don't punish my prostate, mommy. MILFs who look 25 are a good genre of woman? Yeah. Where are these MILFs who look 25, guys? Please introduce me to some. I'm keeping them all to myself. I hear that among primates, gorillas, and chimpanzees, the most popular females are gorillas and stuff that have already had children. Which makes sense because you know that they have like experience and they're like valuable childbearing candidates. So, man, it's only natural that we go after the MILFs. Alright, guys. I have to go jog. It's 6:10. The sun will be going down in 20 minutes, so I have to go jog now. See you around, guys. Good night. Have a nice night, boys. I just got here. Too bad. You still get to keep your watch streak or whatever. Oh. See you, boys.